TV for you by TV from me. Now, this is where I talk to people in our community, both local and globally, who are doing amazing things to add value to the lives of people around them. Could be anything from meditation, a yoga class, learning to cook, reading tarot cards or healing, physical fitness, or even gardening. Whatever you're interested in, you are going to get it here at some point. Join me and my special guest today, Penny Hall, for an amazing show. We've got a half hour of absolutely action-packed stuff for you. Just a little intro about Penny. She is in a nutshell, a lover of life. She's been in the travel industry since she was 24, which has included living overseas for nearly a decade in the UK, the USA, and South Africa. Penelope is currently a personal travel manager. She loves traveling, meeting people, and experiencing different cultures and languages. She also has, let me see, she always has a story to share of a domestic violence, family violence, an emotional trauma from a life that turned out to be not the one that she had imagined for her and subsequently her 2 young children. So what she had to do is find the strength to see her through the pain and rise up from a life of control and coercion. And this was a real challenge for Penny. This part of her life has led her to launch 2 businesses in 2015 and 2017. Those businesses were focused around assisting others to release from an unwanted state of living to a life of self-freedom. What I'm going to do is bring Penny on now, and we will talk to her a little bit more about the amazing stuff she is doing. Hey, Con's here too. How are you, Con? Welcome, Penny. How are you? You're with us, Penny. Now you've frozen up. That is not a good sign. Can you speak? Can you hear me? Hello, hello. All right. So Penny has, let me see. Might just drop her out again. Penny, just refresh your screen. Come back into the show. And this is the beauty of live broadcast, my friends, because it is anything can happen. And when we have technical glitches like this, they are beyond our control. If you could just give us a shout out, who you are. Con's here. I know Con is from the Kerwin-Rae Nail and Scale It classes. Con, did you go last night to see Kerwin-Rae? Or did you crew? We put our names down to crew, but we had to let Marie know at the last moment that we couldn't make it. So Con, hi and welcome. Anyone else here, please just jump in and say hi. Give us some love while we wait for Penny to get back into the broadcast. It's possibly because of her bandwidth. Let's try. Take 2. I can see she's going like this in the lobby. Hello, hello. It's like, let's bring her in. And take 2. Hello, hello.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, and you know what? At least you were frozen with a beautiful smile on your face. When I do that, when it happens to me, invariably it looks like I'm pissed. I was like, so that was
in conversation or deep in thought, I think.
You had a lovely smile. It wasn't sort of like one of those faces. So, Penny, welcome. Welcome to the show. And thank you so much for taking time out of your extremely busy schedule to join me here. I know you're moving at the moment, and that's really, sort of fun for you, I'll bet. Can you share with us a little bit about what brought you to this point? I know I didn't get through the whole introduction for you because there's so many amazing things that you've done, and some pretty traumatic things that you've experienced. But what's brought you here to this point, to be sitting here today? What's your why?
My why? I think I have more than one why, to be honest. So.
Oh, that's excellent.
I guess just briefly, thank you for having me on your show, by the way. what's led me here is a very interesting roundabout path of my life. Now, I've been in the travel industry, as you introduced, for many years, and what I'm now doing is encompassing another business, which is called Penelope J, which is a play on my name. And I'm bringing a couple of other businesses in, which are mine. Two are mine, and then I co-share one business.
Can I just hijack the conversation there for a moment?
Sure.
Because I actually we were at the Net Friending first event for women in Adelaide. Theone and I host that, the very first inaugural one, and I saw again the lovely Natasha Olsen.
Yes.
And she mentioned your name, and you go, wow, you don't know who's involved with who. And she said you were doing some things. And the other thing I wanted to say was I was at the launch of Penelope J.
You were indeed.
That was so exciting. So yeah.
Yes. So I have three businesses that I run. So I've got the travel side, the personal growth side, and a business for charity. So Travel Managers, Penelope J, My Brave Fox. And Penelope J is like, I would say the mother company, because that's the personal growth and personal development. And that has been born out of nearly 5 years ago. I had to change the locks on my home because of domestic abuse and bullying and control. And I have two young, beautiful children. Oh, they're not so young anymore, but they're still beautiful. And they do. And I had to make a decision as to what to do with our lives because I was very unhappy. So Penelope J was born out of that. And it's really interesting because I feel like my life has done this complete circle with where I'm supposed to be. Now, I call it my home base because I just feel completely at peace where I am now. It's taken me a long time to get to where I am. Interestingly, when I left school all those moons ago, I wanted to be a kindy teacher or a social worker.
Oh, wow.
And now I'm in the area, well, I'm a mum, so I've got that covered. So that's fine. You have two, that's me. And then, of course, I've got the personal development side, which is supporting people, yes, who have been impacted by domestic violence, but also impacted by life. And, you know, life can have us stuck and unable to move, and something that's not, it's unwanted. So, and some people are unsure how to blossom out of that. So I'm also doing travel experiences, so bringing my 30 years in the travel industry experience along with that, which will be family friendly, and at the same time as having a holiday, we can go out broader afield and support some people in an area or areas that need that little bit of extra support, because, you know, we're very lucky here in Australia. So if I can do that from the travel side and a personal development side all at once, then I think that's a good area to cover.
So are you talking about like the volunteerism type thing?
I guess, yes. Yeah. Yes. Although it's going to be, I guess, our own little niche where we're showing children and many of us adults who haven't done it before that there is more to the life that we're leading here. And we might as well have a break doing it at the same time. So have some fun and some fulfillment all in the same boot, which I think is great. So yeah.
I love that concept. I love the idea of to be able to go to places and be helpful where you go. And I know I don't know if it's something that in terms of the travel stuff you do, we can talk a little bit about that a bit more if you want, but I know when I went to Tahiti, I took my daughter to Tahiti for a personal development seminar, which was freaking awesome. and we spent a day actually working in the community and going out and helping people in the community, and it was only one day, but that was so powerful to connect and to be able to do that sort of thing, I think, on a bit more of an ongoing basis, because the tiny bit of impact we did have resulted in some pretty massive stuff, in terms of everybody on that seminar or on that retreat were able to pull their resources and just make some amazing, gives the Tahitians some amazing help. So, you know, to be part of that was something that you don't forget. So I think you and that's is doing that with Natasha. You say that bit.
No, the other bit with Natasha is the My Brave Fox. So, and that's something completely different. It encompasses the domestic violence work that I do, but it's something different. So I'm more than happy if you would like me to highlight what we're doing in that area as well. Yeah.
So whatever's coming to you by inspiration, because you are involved in so many different things that it just sounds so exciting. And I just
I'm an Aquarian. It happens naturally.
I must be a cusp Aquarian. I'm not actually, but I'm about the same. It's like I just go, oh, I've got to do this. It's so, and if it, like you said, what blows your hair back, what's your value base, what's your why, and there doesn't have to be, I think, one, but there's many ways that you can, if it's all aligned with your core values. I think what you're doing is, and it feels good, then what you're doing is good. So
it feels great.
So what are you inspired to talk to us about then?
Well, today, again, I've got lots of inspiration, but when the main area that keeps coming up for me in all of my work is when I was going through my really challenging time of, changing the locks in my home. The repercussions of that were rather enormous, going through family court, intervention orders, the police, and everything that is involved in that. There was one thing that kept coming up, and that was I felt really alone. Now, I had a core group of support people, which was fantastic, and they never left my side, didn't place any judgments on what I was doing. But then there was a whole bunch that just threw me, ousted me, couldn't deal with what I was going through, including my closest friend at the time. So it was really challenging, and I felt alone inside and out. So what keeps coming up for me is to never be alone. And I know actually that's something that Rosie Batty says as well, you're never alone. Yeah. So I like to then surround myself with pretty amazing people, and that's what I had to do by, making some new friends, new acquaintances, a great squad of people that just like me for me. And, because I like to think I've never been a judgmental person. I'm very social by nature. I thrive on being with people. I recharge on my own, but to be, like now, you and I have met a couple of years ago now. And, these connections that we all make, male and female, just spin me out. And it's that, well, here we are, live TV, and it's community. So that's what one of your whys is. So I really love community, and that encompasses my work, even my travel work, to my Penelope J, the growth, the masterminds that I run, the workshops, any speaking events, to My Brave Fox, because eventually that's in its infancy at this stage, but that's all about community of, people who have been impacted by DV. So it's that you don't have to stand alone, which keeps rearing its head. And I know that more people I connect with and chat to, and clients that I speak with and support and are on my programs, that comes up a lot. So you can, be surrounded by so many people, yet you can feel very alone. And as we know, alone and lonely are two different things. So you know, you can be on your own and like it's bliss. I don't get much of that time, but the alone time's like really special.
Yeah. And then sometimes you could be in a crowded room and then feel completely lonely.
Correct.
Yeah.
So what I've found through my own personal growth, because I was very much at ground zero and I've been there more than once, was once I feel okay inside here and I know that I'm a good person, I'm a good mum, a good friend, good partner, just a good mate, that I feel I'm at home and I'm comfortable. So I'm never lonely because I'm okay with me. And that's the personal journey that I've been on, and it's been the best thing. So the trauma that myself and my girls went through has grown us, and I probably wouldn't say it's been the best thing that happened to us, because it was really hideous to go through. But, you know, on the other side, the personal growth has been amazing, myself and my girls. And the people that I spend time with, when I see that something clicks, you know, like something turns on, and then they have life again and they're happy and they're smiling, and they just get it. They get their stuff. And man, that just makes me alive. I love it.
And I think that when you can relate to people on a level that's like that deeply personal, that makes I know for myself, I've been through some experiences that I would not want to repeat, but the understanding that you get and the compassion that you have for other people that are going through it, I think you can't actually get that if you haven't been through it. So for me, there's an element of gratitude for having gone through those experiences and to be spat out the other side relatively sane. slightly mad. No, it's
it keeps every day. Interesting.
But it does sort of make you, I think, a little bit gamer to, you know, sort of to launch out there. So there's stuff, like I said, I think, like, you wouldn't want to go through it again, but there is an element of gratitude because it actually makes us who we are today.
Well, it does. And of course, you've got that old saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So
yes.
You know, and I'm the same. I would never want to repeat what I went through, but look where I am today, and look where it's taken me. That, you know, that pull years ago to do social working and to be there for people, and you know, and I'm not everyone's cup of tea either. So the people that do like me and like to spend time with me and like, you know, what I have to say and support them with, you know, that's all you can ask for, really.
Yeah. And not everybody is everybody's cup of tea, and that's totally okay. And that's actually how it should be. That's how it should be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm quite, in days gone by, I would have thought, okay. And take notes. What did I do wrong? And like, why have they unliked my page, or you know, anything like that. And it's always it's lovely to be liked, and you know, people think you're nice, but if it doesn't happen, it's okay.
Yeah, it is okay. And I think that's about when you step more into your authentic self and who you are.
Yeah.
Then when that becomes more important, then, you know, you can still care and have compassion for other people, but it's actually, it makes you number one, and you actually get to look after number one rather than worrying about, well, but they're not even worried. They're not even thinking. So,
exactly. So, I mean, it may be an thing as well. I don't know. I mean,
it may be a what thing?
An age thing as well, perhaps. Maybe I don't know, but I'm really happy with me. And two of the best things that I actually did was learn how to let go of expectations. placing them on myself and placing them on other people,
Yeah.
because that affected my mood
Yeah.
and the way I perceived other people's words and actions, and to letting go of the past. So past hurts and pains. I've just written a post on it now, and I'm putting a blog up tomorrow along those lines as well. So
could you give us a little bit of insight into how you went about doing that?
Sure. How long have we got?
We've got about 8 minutes.
Okay.
And you've got to go and pick up your daughters. But if you could just give us even a few clues, and then we could maybe direct people to your blog. So
that'd be lovely. Thank you. It's when I've always been spiritual and universal and a bit fluffy and woo-woo. And although I keep my work real, I've still got my own beliefs and values that I stick by. And, everything is what it is at that one time, even if we don't understand the why of it. I think the expectations one is really big, because an example perhaps might be today that, you and I, we don't have a script apart from me sending you my bio. This is all ad hoc talk, and so there were no expectations set. So I wasn't nervous. I was more excited than anything, because I really like you. So and I trust you. Where we would go.
Yeah.
So, and we often place expectations upon ourselves, yes, but particularly I guess family members and those close to us, that they should do what we think they should be doing, when they may or may not, because they're their own person. And that then has that, domino effect of affecting our mood and the outcome of the situation. So if I find myself getting to that stage where I think I'm placing an expectation on someone, I actually have a little chat to myself and say, and remind myself, they're not like you, Penny. They're like for like, and we get along really well, but what's going on inside their brain and how they've perhaps perceived what I've said or asked of them, or, even my kids, I've just let expectations go, and I'm calmer. There's minimal, probably no drama in my life anymore, and whatever happens. And then you get to the next stage. So perhaps it's something that you weren't expecting to happen. So how do you handle that? How do you handle the extreme emotion that might come up because you've automatically placed an expectation on that person to show up at whatever time or be there for you for something important, and they're not, and yes, there's things that we, there's manners that play a part, and courtesy and all of those sorts of things as well. But I just found by letting these expectations go, not placing them upon people to start with, and nor myself to be superwoman.
That's a big one.
It's a lot easier, but it takes time. It takes a lot of time to recondition your mind to not have that expectation of others. I think for me, I started with myself first, and not to be the woman with the cape, because I just can't. I'm just one person. So once I let them go of myself, and it's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to, if I let someone down not intentionally, it's okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to let you down. This is what happened, whether they believe you or not. So it's a learned practice, but I think a good place to start is with yourself, because then you can get used to that, and then you can be aware I'm putting it on myself. Oh, what if I try not doing that to the other person? And it actually works well. It's probably taken me a couple of years to master it.
Yeah, I think this is it is a skill that that we could probably all learn to let go a little bit more and let go of control of both our own lives and also others. So it's but we don't need to let go, I guess, control of ourselves, but in terms of the lives that because I think we shut ourselves off to so many opportunities if we do live by expectations, because it's
absolutely, and it also interferes with your emotional input and output as well, very much. And your stress levels just come way down, and you can just be. You really can.
It's a good feeling. It's taken a lot of practice for me, but just going, and especially when you do stuff like with Be Live and, live interviews and your guest freezes with a beautiful smile. And it's like, most people would freak out going, oh, I expected that to work and it didn't. And they just go, whatever, It's like, even little things like that can make your life hell, or just let you keep going with the flow. There's nothing, it just is no expectation.
Stuff happens.
Yeah.
Technology can, all of a sudden on here, as we were coming live, I couldn't hear you. And I don't know if you couldn't see me. So I just did what we did and refreshed, and there I was. So
and that's exactly what I was saying before. That was because you dropped back out and you refreshed, like we talked about before. But that my expectation was that you would just come in and would start talking. But I actually didn't expect. I hoped it would happen, but when it didn't, I didn't freak out. Now we are out of time. It is pretty awesome. I think I don't normally put links to blogs, but is there, because the way the Facebook algorithms are is they tend to just scale them down a little bit. But I think if we can put that, we'll put a link. If you can get me a link to your blog when it's published, I can actually include it in the description above here. For people who are wanting to check out what Penny does, there is 3 Facebook page links above here in the body of the post here. You can have a look at what she does, connect with her, like her page, and just be involved. I'm really keen to talk to you more about the Fox. What was that called there?
My Brave Fox.
My Brave Fox. I reckon I would like to have you and Natasha on this show at some point in the not too distant future, because
that would be lovely. That's involving a lot of people. So we're looking for professionals to join our group for our indulgence days that we'll be putting on later in 2018.
Yeah, no, I'm happy. Really, would love to support you with that. I'd love to support you with all of it. That I think that what you're doing there. That sort of when Natasha told me about it, I went, this is so cool. I just support this anything that, because I've got a coach and she says to me, "You're all about community, aren't you?" And I'm going,
well, you know what?
Yes, I am.
We've come out the other side. So if it was really thick in there at the challenging time, but those of us who've come out the other side, if we can guide people through it, because you've got to go through it before you can get out that other side. It can be painful, but it's so worth doing it. And if someone's there to hold your hand and to be with you and to talk it through, and then over we go, and it can take shorter than longer. So that's what it's all
shorten it. And I know that the journey for me was pretty painful. So it was, sort of including bullying at work and all that type of thing. So it was slightly different, but the trauma was real.
and that's your journey. And my story is not the worst out there. Yours isn't. There's always someone else that's worse than us. But if we can do this, learn some new skills, let it go, and move on and having that community with like-minded people, you know, I mean, we know a lot of mutual friends, you and I, and gosh, that makes a difference, doesn't it, with who you hang with?
Oh, it does. It does. Amazing, amazing community that we have and mostly around Adelaide too. We've got a global community, but this is just, I just get so gooey about it.
This is what it
is. Thank you. Penny, thank you so much for joining me. Don't go anywhere. We're just going to drop you out of the show. We'll just have a quick chat after I end the broadcast. But thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Bye for now. And that was the lovely, amazing Penny Hall, who is involved in several things, the travel, the personal development, and the new help for DV survivors. So if you want to hear more, see more, join in the community, click on the links above. I'll get her link to her blog that she's publishing or about to publish, and I'll pop that in there as well. Amazing lady. You've been with Community TV with Adaire. This is where we help ordinary people share extraordinary things that help enhance and add value to the lives of people around them. We will see you next week at 2 p.m. Australian Central Daylight Time at mytimetv.live. Bye for now.